Good morning, legends. Great to be with you on this beautiful Monday morning, crisp and chilly in Melbourne, but also very beautifully sunny. So today what I want to do is I want to talk about how you appear on camera. And so we're going to do a few things to fine-tune how that happens. And before I do that, I want to ask you to start by telling me why you're here. So what would you like to achieve by watching this espresso shot? And how will that help you kickstart your week? So if you want to take a moment, go in the comments and type what you are wanting to get out of your presence here today. As you're doing that, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to start giving you a couple of tips on how you can improve your presence on camera in order to connect better with your future clients or your existing clients or in webinars. So, all right, let's start with lighting. As you see this morning, it's quite dark in the room where I am. So I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to make sure that I get rid of that shadow behind me. And therefore, the first thing I do is pull the blinds. So I've pulled the blinds, shadow's still there. 1 second. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that light on. And the light in my house takes a few minutes to warm up. So as it happens, I'm going to get closer to the wall and hopefully eventually the light kicks in and we get rid of the shadow. If we don't get rid of the shadow, that's all right, as long as we have a clear wall behind us and we have no other things that people could look at. Like, for example, if I had this here in the background, that could be quite distracting. All right, so I'm doing my very best to have a very clear background behind me so that the only thing that people look at is myself. All right, so I'll just flick this around and here we are, back with a crisp background. So that's the first tip or the first trick, the first two tips and tricks. The lighting. So if you can have a very, very clear, well lit up room, ideally with some light on the side so that it's not necessarily straight onto you and it blinds you. And also you open the blinds if you can open the blinds. And then the second thing is the background, have a clear background so it doesn't distract people from your message. All right. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is what you're wearing, right? So we are coaches, of course, and a lot of us have left a corporate job because we didn't really associate with the rules of the corporate world. And so we're home, we're working from our living room, our bedroom, or a spare room that we've turned into an office. But it doesn't mean that it's okay to turn up to an appointment in gym gear or in anything that is too casual, because people are coming to you as a professional and you're charging professional rates, so you need to deliver a professional experience. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of my beautiful and comfortable jacket, and I'm going to put something on that looks a little bit more corporate or a little bit more professional, and there you have it. I've now transformed myself into a more professional looking coach, or in this case, mentor. So the one thing I'm going to say about what you wear, try and go for solid colors. It's the same principle as with the background behind us. The simpler what it is you wear is, the less distracting it is for your clients or your prospective clients. And you want people to concentrate on what you're saying rather than in trying to decipher what you're wearing or be distracted by the big hibiscus or the birds or the zebra colors or whatever it is that patterns can be nowadays, right? So going with a dark jacket, a simple dark jacket, whether you have a collar or a round collar, is the best option you have, because dark Like in this case, it's dark blue. I'm not sure that you can actually distinguish that. But in this case, I've gone for dark blue because blue also conveys trust. And so we'll talk about the psychology of colors another time. But in choosing my jacket, I have made sure that I have a simple color to look at, nothing aggressive, nothing much of a fashion statement, just a simple jacket, because that looks quite professional. The next thing I'm going to talk about is as a woman, there are a few things, simple things that we can do. I'm not a fan of makeup, and you probably know that if you know me quite well. I'm someone who likes simple things, and yeah, anyway, so I won't go into details, but I believe our skin needs to breathe. But there are two things you can do to appear better on camera. The first one as a woman is lipstick, because it's going to define my mouth. So let me just go ahead and put some lipstick on so that you can see the difference. Right. Here we go. And now, here we are. So it's simple, but because my lips are defined, it actually looks better. The other thing that men and women should look at doing when they're on camera, it's defining their eyebrows, right? So if you look at recordings from 2 years ago, I didn't have eyebrows because basically in the 80s, I just plucked them all out. So I really didn't have eyebrows. So I have mine tattooed on. But when I go on camera, whether it's for a webinar or it is for anything recorded that will last for a while, I redefine my eyebrows. So give me a second, look at what it looks like right now, and just wait 1 second. All right, it's coming along, coming along. All right. So the difference between having defined eyebrows and no defined eyebrows is that it frames my face, right? And by framing my face, it's less distracting. It's all about getting people's attention on the right things. So I'm not recommending clown makeup, right? So you don't want to go extreme, but yeah, I know, massive difference, right? And yeah, with the tattoos, like I've got tattoos, but after a number of months, the ink fades away on your face, and so I need to go and get them done again. But in the meantime, I do use a crayon, and I just redo the same shape, just simple shape, nothing extravagant. I look younger. Where do I send the money, Nat? Yeah, so basically it changes completely how I look. I do look a little bit better, and it's more appealing, and it's easier to look at, right? So I'm not a supermodel, never was, never will be, but I do have a few tricks to make myself look a little bit better so that it's easier on the eye for the person who's looking, or the person who I'm wanting to have a conversation with, all right? So simple things. So I haven't gone the full face makeup. I don't believe in that. I'd rather have a bit of texture, a bit of color. I have some freckles, you can see them. It just makes me human, right? Next thing, where to look. But before we talk about where we look, let's talk about the height at which we set our camera. So right now the height is exactly at my eye level, which means that I'm not looking down on you, I'm not looking up at you, but let me show you the difference if I remove the box on which my computer is, right? So if I'm looking at you like this, and of course I could adjust that, but if I'm looking at you like this, yeah, you're right, Nantia. Yeah, so there you go. So if I look at you like this, it changes the angle, and by changing the angle, it actually changes the psychological impact on the person that we're talking to. No one likes to be spoken down to. Yeah, because that's not it's not pleasant, and therefore we aim at having the camera at the same eye level. The camera has to be at my eye level is basically what I'm saying. You also don't want to have the camera too high, because if I had the camera too high and I had to look up, then that would look really, really awkward, right? So if I put it just at the exact same height as my eye level, so the camera is exactly at my eye level, then it's like I'm talking to you, like if I'm right next to you, if we're having a conversation, and because it's eye level, we're connecting better. All right, so now we know the lighting, the background, the jacket, solid color, simple ponytail. If you've got, I haven't spoken about that, but if you have a lot of hair, my mentor Joe Bauer recommended that when women go on camera or when they run events where they're selling themselves, they should have their hair in a ponytail. There's a number of reasons for that, and I'm not going to get into that today, but it's just a simple tip or a simple trick. If you are wanting to convince someone of something, put your hair up. If you're wanting to seduce someone, put your hair down. And we'll talk about the whole psychology of hair another day. So probably the same day as we talk about colors. All right. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is sound. Now, so far in this live, what I've done is I have used the sound of my computer only. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use just the headphones from my phone, and you're going to see the difference that it makes. All right, let me just plug this in. All right, so with a simple headset, so nothing high quality, not even a lav or anything fancy, just what they give you when you buy a phone, already the quality of the sound has completely changed, right? And so if you want to give the best experience, the more connected, the more human experience, the closer to being live right next to someone that you can touch, those are all factors that will help improve your presence on camera. All right, so now that I've shared with you some of my tips and tricks, I would absolutely love to watch a short live video of yourself implementing those tricks, and just talk to me about your favorite place on earth for 30 seconds. But show me that you have adjusted the lighting as best as you could in the room where you are, so that there are no shadows on your face. Show me a clear background. Show me that you're wearing a jacket with solid colors. Wear some lipstick, do your eyebrows, define your eyebrows. It helps for me because I'm framing my face as well with glasses. I need glasses. Look at the camera, make sure it's at eye level. And then put some simple earphones in and let's hear you tell us all about your favorite place in the world. Mine is Freycinet Park, or Wineglass Bay in Tasmania, because the beaches are beautiful. The white sand is amazing. It is the most beautiful place on earth I've ever been to. It is pristine. I love how natural it is. I love how gorgeous it is. And yeah, it just makes me feel like home, funnily enough, for someone who's been born in Montreal. So there you are. So take a moment, come and share with us. Hopefully these tips and tricks have been helpful and they will enhance your presence on camera and the experience that you provide your existing clients and your potential clients. Big hug, legends. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.